This week on Hermitcraft.
Oh, shut up, dog. I am a firm believer that hermits should not rap.
Welcome to the Metro Mayhem Recap, because that's absolutely what this is going to be this week. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is Sloy XP. Captions on this video are provided by Liara. And if it wasn't obvious by now, the Hermitcraft server is deep within the grips of its minigame arc, which is like a tournament arc, but it doesn't take 3 episodes for 2 people to power up, and your progress is measured in gold nuggets, apparently. The only thing preventing Season 10 from becoming a sports anime is Skizzleman's Pyramid, which seems to lean firmly into the horror genre instead, especially when people have to confront what they actually like about themselves.
This one I'm struggling on, I'll be honest. I've listened to it a few times. I might be an idiot, or I might not be understanding it exactly.
So in the spirit of self-actualization for this recap show, let's take a look at what we actually like about the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Etho, who after posting an episode entitled Finishing Touches 11 months ago, and countless seasons of gameplay having happened since then, this week finally declares Ravager Rush complete.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
We kid, of course. He's been working on the exterior, which it didn't need to be a functional and classic game which will be remembered as a highlight of Season 10. But at least now it has a rooftop pool party for the frogs, and a big king frog on the side wall to really nail down the vibes.
And I am going to say it is complete, okay? It's done. Ravager Rush is actually done.
Back at his base, Etho admits to being the architect of the back rooms, so that's that mystery solved. But these particular back rooms are specifically for the redstone devices at his base, so he can do maintenance where necessary and check back in with his circuitry if he wants to remember how something was done. Before throwing himself full throttle into the minigames, Etho destroys the competition in a much more literal way, by showing up with a hotbar full of firework crossbows and exploding various people for not restocking their shops. Because if the permit office isn't there to lay down the law, someone has to go Batman on these criminals for not keeping up the supply of powder snow.
You're out of snow buckets! Refill your snow buckets!
Karma comes back to frostbite him later when he has to navigate Skizzleman's Pyramid, although he doesn't die to the freezing room. It's the magma jumps that get him first, and the fact that someone beat him to the Michael J. Fox joke.
People want to be noticed by you. Really? Think on that sentence for a moment and really take in what it means. By me, and I don't really get it.
Etho emerges as the winner of the Gasketball Score Attack trophy and is definitely one of the frontrunners for Metro Mayhem, being one of the only players with a time approaching 9 stacks of nuggets. His run is also a great primer for anyone interested in Minecraft's seemingly bottomless well of movement tips and tricks, so parkour fanatics, tune in. A lot of these, Impulse SV just straight up shows Zombie Cleo when giving them a tour of the parkour course they have so lovingly decorated. Naturally, after having the secrets of the subway laid bare and explained by the very guy who put them there, Cleo does pretty good at the parkour course, by Cleo standards. Special shout out, of course, also goes to them asking if one can turn off the accompanying Hermit history audio if they were present for most of it, and the thing about that is, same.
Look, I have no shame. So
perfect.
So
there is no pressure.
False Symmetry, by contrast, finds a skip in the boombox part of the map on her very first try of the course, specifically climbing the wall decorations, which is a good reliable whenever dealing with a wall-decorated obstacle.
Oh, new skip unlocked.
Moustache strap.
Nice.
I don't think I can reach anything there.
Wow.
Another classic, however, is getting a high score but forgetting to actually record it. After all, they don't call it a new record for nothing.
Stay tuned to the end of the video because you're going to see one of my best runs yet. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I feel it in my bones today. We're going to do it for sure.
But in the meantime, False does seem to be building massive turntables to decorate the rust punk side of her base. Alternatively, these could be lightly weathered copper mushrooms, what with how they sprout across the hillside. Giving further credence to the idea that False has a big button with the word circle on it that she slams whenever more of the base needs doing.
The fact that at nighttime does look better because the contrast. Keyword of the day.
iJevin, in the meantime, has one that says lean in, at least according to Skizzleman's evaluation of the guy. We know this thanks to Jev taking his turn on the Pyramid of Needs, because he, Pyramid of Needed something to put in his episode 69. Nice.
Don't die! Alright, we need a carrot here for this one. There we go.
Much need is had as per usual, though for the record, he does find the exit from the self-actualization chamber on his own and without much trouble. And his own evaluation of his most helpful ability turns out to be the ability to simply show up, something I wish was more common amongst the Dungeons & Dragons group I play with.
I actually know the answer to this one, like, just from how I live my life.
Joe Hills begins the week still in possession of the high score at Metro Mayhem, but unfortunately for Joe, more nuggets is a bad thing. And while his second run of the subway parkour doesn't get him killed by fireworks, he still crosses the line with 26 stacks and change left in the hopper. Joe literally puts his foot on the gas because he uses a foot pedal to sprint, although that might have held him up at a couple of points in the course, and he learns a few skips which immediately result in a personal best that keeps improving. By the time Pearlescent Moon stops by to join the queue for the trains herself, he's comfortably in the middle of the pack with 12 stacks and 20 nuggets. Also possibly overloaded on carbs because he spent a lot of time in the subway that serves pizza instead of sandwiches.
And Joe, you gotta do better.
I
You
know.
gotta do better.
I know. I was aiming for the middle of the pack, and I'm barely on the first page.
XB Crafted is more concerned with the way everyone has been leaving their stuff in lockers at the metro station and seemingly abandoning it. It's up to Impulse to establish a lost and found, though, so XB loses himself in the Metro Mayhem course and finds that despite not normally being a parkour guy, he can post a pretty respectable time. At least when he's not getting juggled by slimes, or accidentally taking a nap on the Ninja Turtles sofa.
No, get it. No. Get out of the freaking bed.
XB prefers to feel out the course by himself instead of comparing notes with the other hermits or watching their VODs to discover the skips, so tune in to future XB episodes to see whether Slow and Steady does in fact win the race.
I know there's going to be like tons. Well, maybe not tons of shortcuts, but there's going to be shortcuts that I cannot see.
And finally, there's Impulse SV, who is delighted to be the architect of everyone's latest minigame craze. For what it's worth, he wasn't even sure a sub 10 stack time was possible, so that's a feather in the cap of every hermit who's managed to skip their way to that impressive benchmark. JoJo Solos, as the official test runner, gets immortalized despite being decapitated, as her head is used to camouflage the villager in the metro station's information booth.
Why you're obsessed with the back wall? You're trying to get a book off the shelf or something? What's going on there?
But even though Impulse takes a break from Metro Mayhem for Cub fans' Basketball tournament, he soon has to return to restock all the pizza and fireworks players have consumed by running the course so frequently. And he's already planning some tweaks for Season 2 of the game, mostly so the various sections of Hermit history built by his server mates aren't unceremoniously skipped by people trying to get out of bounds. Also, remember the dropper game he was working on? Fortunately, so does Impulse. The rest of the cyberpunk city will not be neglected because the plan is still to turn this place into a carnival of minigame activity. So when people emerge from parkouring through sewers, there will still be one more pipe where they can die of full damage.
That they're going through all the materials so fast, which is a good problem to have. I'm very ecstatic.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.